Hello everybody and welcome back to JoEnglish. As you can see, I've got Pammy here again with me today.
Hi everyone.
Now, what we're going to do is have another natural conversation in English because the last one we did was really popular and everybody said it was really useful to listen to an English conversation. So we've decided to make this a regular thing and we're going to create a new playlist called Natural Conversation so you can see the English language in practice. This time though, you have an activity to do. What we're going to do is put words up on the screen as we speak. So it might be an idiom or some vocabulary that's not very common, and you need to use the context to understand the meaning. What you mustn't do is go on Google. This is really important, okay? You need to use the context to understand things, even idioms. Yes, you can learn lists of idioms, but without context, they have no meaning, okay? Use the context. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, today, since we're a multicultural family, really, aren't we? I'm half Italian, half Welsh, and Joe's
100% English.
Yeah, but quite pugliese now, aren't you? So
Okay.
We're going to we've picked a few things and we're going to decide which one we prefer, the Italian version or the British version of these things.
Exactly. Okay, so let's start with breakfast. Do you prefer an English breakfast or an Italian breakfast? So cappuccino cornetto.
Well, I think I certainly would go with cappuccino cornetto, simply because we don't always have all day long to eat breakfast. So, it's not a matter of sitting at the table. Well, first of all, cooking. I hate cooking anyway.
True.
So it takes half an hour to prepare everything, then half an hour to eat it. Then you need to get ready, go to work or whatever you're doing. It's just not practical.
I know, but if it was up to me,
I know you'd have.
I would choose full English breakfast without a shadow of doubt.
And you actually enjoy cooking it as well, don't you?
I do. And I'm also very good, if I do say so myself.
Yes, he is very good. You can't go wrong with a cappuccino and a cornetto. You can find a good one anywhere in many bars. While in Britain, it's not that easy to find a very, very good, very nice.
No, that's true actually, because this is one thing I love about Italy. I do enjoy going to the bar for a cappuccino and cornetto. With a full English breakfast, you can't do that every day.
And you can have a chit chat as well while you're.
You can have a chit chat as well.
Drinking your coffee and
That's true.
While you're eating your full English, you've got your mouth full all the time. You can't.
But it's like you said, in Britain, you can have really, really good English breakfast and really, really bad English breakfasts, depending on the ingredients and how it's cooked.
How it's cooked.
I know, but it's true. Even a cappuccino, you can have a good one and a bad one.
Yeah, but there's thousands of bars around, and
Yeah, that's true.
Most of them are good.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, if I had to choose, I'd go for the English breakfast.
I'm sorry, I'm going for cappuccino and cornetto.
Okay, let's move on to the next choice.
Okay, so picture this. It's 11 o'clock, break time.
Yeah.
What are you going to have, a cup of tea or a coffee? Italian coffee.
Ooh, that's tricky. Obviously, being English, I think I'd have to say cup of tea, but only in England, because tea here isn't exactly the best. Drinking tea in Italy is like drinking coffee in England. It's not the best thing. So here, I'd probably go for a coffee.
What?
I would go for a coffee.
Well, your coffee.
What do you mean, my coffee?
Your rubbish coffee.
What are you talking about?
Well, just wait and see. I'll show you.
What are you doing? I have no idea what she's doing.
You can't call this coffee.
It is coffee. Look,
It's an insult to Italian coffee.
I know, but this is coffee.
This is what Joe drinks. And it's decaf as well. Because if he drinks normal coffee, he goes a bit doolally.
It's the caffeine. The caffeine goes to my head.
Well, I'm tea all day, every day.
And I suppose I'm. But the thing is, to my defence, Italian coffee, I don't get Italian coffee. You have a coffee and it's gone, finished in 2 seconds. At least this lasts a bit longer. It's like having a cup of tea. It's true.
Well, a washed brown cup of water.
Okay, the next situation. Which do you prefer? An Italian beach or a British beach?
100% Italian beach.
Really?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. See, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not a beach person.
Don't you ever go to the beach with Joe.
Why?
It is the worst experience on the planet. It's just awful. He is just so fidgety. He drives you round the bend.
But listen, you need to understand, right? Look at my skin, okay? That goes from white to red in about 10 minutes.
To white the next day.
And then white again, yeah. So for me, going to the beach is not enjoyable. For you, you can sit there and sunbathe. When I go to the beach, there's me rubbing in cream every 3.5 seconds, running after the kids while she is lying down, living the life of Riley, enjoying herself, reading a book. So that's why.
Yeah.
It's true. And then I need to sit on my sunbed like this.
Yeah, that's true.
In the shade, because if I don't, I will burn in a second. So I'm with British beach though. British beaches are beautiful. They're big. They're
cold.
Yeah, but the beaches are still beautiful. The sea, okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about beautiful. We're just talking about the experience.
All right, okay.
Do you want to be on a beach with a hat and a jacket and a...
Right, okay. This is what I would do. I would have a British beach with Italian sea.
Okay.
Because the sea is nice.
Yeah, I like that combination.
Yeah?
I can go with that.
Good. Do you remember? We went to our children, when we go to the beach, when they were younger, they were just used to throwing their clothes off and running and just diving into the sea in Italy. We went to Wales one summer and it was beautiful. It was hot, it was sunny, but British beaches tend to be very long. It takes a long way to get to the sea.
Like almost 500 metres.
Sometimes, yeah. And so the boys were running and we saw them running directly towards the beach. They put 1 foot in the water and turned round. They didn't stop and just came running back.
It was absolutely freezing.
It looked nice, but it was freezing.
It was freezing. Okay, I've got the next one.
Go on then.
Driving.
Driving in Britain or driving in Italy. Personally, I would go for driving in Italy every day of the week.
Well, you didn't say that about 17 years ago when we were driving in Palermo, when I was driving and you were sat next to me all scared and all worried.
Again, this was the first times I'd come to Italy. So I hadn't really experienced Italian driving.
No.
Whereas now I love it. That is true. Before I didn't really enjoy it. But the best thing about driving in Italy is that no one gives a monkeys. Like, if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. You stop, you turn round, and you carry on. In Britain, it's so many rules.
But at least you know where you are. Everybody follows the rules. It's all sort of...
I know, but you can't...
nice and calm, and you listen to music while you're driving.
Okay, but in Britain, when you need to park, for example, if you park like 1 centimetre outside of the space, you get a fine. I mean, if you're driving towards a roundabout in Britain, if you're not in the right lane at least a mile before, people
thought about it before.
I know, but it's just it's so much more stressful. In Italy, it's so much more relaxed.
No, I I get so stressed when I drive. It's so easy to just meet the wrong driver in front of you, and I lose my rag, and then my blood pressure goes up, and my blood boils, and it's just, no, absolutely 100% Britain.
Italy. I got a good one. Now, Pammy's got a very big family, both in Britain and in Italy. I've got a very small family in general.
Yes.
So we go to quite a few weddings, both in Italy, Puglia, and also in Britain. So what do you prefer? A British wedding or I will say Pugliese wedding, simply because I know that weddings in the north of Italy are very different.
We haven't really experienced a
wedding
out of Puglia.
No, really. Exactly. So we are talking specifically about Pugliese weddings, okay? So, which do you prefer?
Well, it's a difficult one. I can't offend my father, who's a chef. And, when he cooks, and he cooked at our wedding, it was just amazing.
The difficulty is, I know they're both weddings, but it's like comparing chalk and cheese in the sense that in Italy, the main focus is the food, isn't it?
Certainly, yes. Well,
Yeah, the main focus is the food. Obviously, there's the dancing and the fun, obviously, as well. But in Britain, the food is almost something you need to
just get out of the way.
Get out of the way, so then you can start
as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so then you can continue drinking and move into the dancing and things like that. So
the atmosphere at both weddings are very different.
Yeah, definitely.
It's sort of
I find them a bit more formal here.
Although when you say that, British in church weddings are quite formal.
That's true. If we could just mix the two, merge them together. I think if we had Italian food with the British, well, again, I'm saying the British attitude to having fun. Maybe I enjoy it more because I'm more used to it.
So much here, then you're too full to dance and do more of...
One thing I don't like about British weddings now, lots of them are becoming no kids, aren't they? Which I think is pretty sad. I think a wedding should be
it's a family affair.
Fun. I mean, at the end of the day, you can let your hair down at both of them, but I just think it comes to personal preference.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, I'd probably go for a British wedding. What about you?
Well, I'm going with my dad, and I'm going with an Italian wedding.
Fair enough. Okay, so how did it go? Let us know in the comments if you found it easy to understand, difficult to understand, if it was easier than last time or more difficult than last time, okay? Let us know. So now we're going to talk about the vocabulary that we used, okay? Now, I said without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt is just a way to put emphasis to say that I have no doubts at all. So for me, without a shadow of doubt, I prefer an English breakfast.
I used the word doolally. It makes you go doolally. Now, doolally means it makes you go all a bit funny, all a bit strange, a bit crazy.
Like caffeine, when you get that caffeine rush.
Well, only Joe gets the caffeine rush.
Only I get the caffeine rush, but I go a bit doolally anyway.
Like children can go doolally if they...
get overexcited.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so then I use to live the life of Riley. If you live the life of Riley, it means you've got the perfect life. Even for one small moment, you have no worries, no stresses, no problems. Everything is perfect.
Just like me at the beach with Joe, hey?
Just like her at the beach with me.
The next one was fidgety. Fidgety is what Joe is at the beach. Just moving up, down, can't find the right position, can't get comfortable, can't...
When you can't stay still, you're fidgeting, you're moving all the time.
He's uncomfortable, and therefore he's sort of...
Fidgeting.
Yeah.
Just moving all the time.
Being annoying. Okay, so the next one was to drive me round the bend. Now, Joe drives me round the bend when we go to the beach.
Only at the beach?
Well, and he's not the only one in this house. I mean, between Eddie, James, the cats, the dog, I've got no peace. So it means
to annoy somebody, doesn't it?
Yes.
You may have seen another video we've done, which means to drive somebody up the wall.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same
That's
meaning.
me.
Okay, so then I said, no one gives a monkeys. No one gives a monkeys. This is strange, but it just means nobody cares. We could also say, I don't give a monkeys, which means I don't care. It's as simple as that, but it's a great saying and it's used quite a lot, isn't it?
It is. Right, next, I said, I lose my rag, which literally means I get angry.
Yeah, if you lose your rag, you get really angry.
Yeah.
So my mother used to say that a lot when I was younger. I don't know why.
Oh, little angel.
Okay, then the next one, I said, comparing weddings is like comparing chalk and cheese because they're two things that are so different, it's very difficult to compare them. So if something is chalk and cheese, they're the opposites of each other. And then I said, to let your hair down. To let your hair down simply means to have fun. So you go to a party to let your hair down.
Yep.
Okay, so I hope this was useful. Please let us know how many of these expressions and idioms you knew already. And also let us know what else you would like us to speak about in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.